Final scenario I want to look at is when a circle touches a line, so when we're given information about a tangent. Now, again, a couple of scenarios to watch out for. Where the tangent is the x-axis, remember our center of our circle is minus g minus f. This point of contact here will be the point minus g0, meaning that the radius is going to equal to the absolute value of minus f in this case. And where we have a circle whose tangent is the y-axis, center point minus g minus f, point of contact is 0 minus f. Therefore, the radius is equal to the absolute value of minus g. Again, two scenarios to look out for in terms of answering questions. The question that we're going to look at for the tangent scenario is question 3, part E. So we are given the circle has radius 5. It touches the line 3x plus 4y plus 9 equals 0 at the point 1 minus 3. So, quick diagram of what's going on here. We have, actually don't need a set of axes. We have our circle, our line, which is a tangent. It touches the circle at the point 1 minus 3. The radius of our circle is 5. Our center point we're not given, but we can say the center point is the point minus g minus f. And our line is 3x plus 4y plus 9 equals 0. So a couple of things that we can take from this information. The perpendicular distance from the center point to the line is equal to 5. So we can use that information to form an equation. We know that the point 1 minus 3 satisfies the circle equation. We can use that information to form another equation as well. Or we can also use the fact that the line from C to P is perpendicular to our tangent. So we have three pieces of information that we can actually take from there. We won't need all three, but we'll look at it as we go. First thing we're going to look at is the perpendicular distance. So the perpendicular distance from our center point to our line is equal to 5. So we have 3 times by minus g plus 4 times by minus f plus 9 over square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to 5. So multiplying across, we have minus 3g minus 4f plus 9 in our absolute value is equal to 25. And because it's an absolute value equation, we can have two different scenarios from this. So we have one scenario where we have minus 3g minus 4f plus 9 equals plus 25. And then minus 3g minus 4f plus 9 equals minus 25. So from this here, we can form the equation minus 3g minus 4f is equal to 16. And from this one, minus 3g minus 4f is equal to minus 34. So we're going to keep these two equations in mind for our further information. All right. Next, if we look at our third piece of information that I mentioned, we know that the line 3x plus 4y plus 9 is a tangent. So therefore, if we look at the slope of that tangent, the slope from C to P is going to be perpendicular to that. So if we look at the tangent first of all, 3x plus 4y plus 9 equals 0. To get the slope of this tangent, we rearrange it into the format y equals mx plus c. So 4y is equal to minus 3x minus 9, meaning that y is equal to minus 3/4 x minus 9 over 4. So the slope of our tangent is minus 3 over 4. Because the line from C to P, this line from the center to the point P, is perpendicular to that, the perpendicular slope here is flip and change signs, so 4 over 3. So we know that the slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and from that we can form the equation. So looking at our point P, which is 1 minus 3, and our center point, which is minus g minus f, we can look at y2 minus y1, so minus f minus minus 3, which is plus 3, over minus g minus 1 is equal to 4 over 3. From that then, we can form another equation. We can form minus 4g minus 4 is equal to minus 3f plus 9. And tidying it up, we can form the equation minus 4g plus 3f is equal to 9 and 4, 13. All right, so that is an additional equation on top of our original 2 that we have here. So what we now have to do is solve those equations simultaneously. The reason we have 2 scenarios is that we can have 2 separate circles that satisfy these conditions. And so we now have our second equation that we can solve simultaneously to find the values of g and f. So it makes sense to eliminate the f variable here because we have a plus and a minus. So if we multiply the first equation by 3 and the second equation by 4, we have minus 9g minus 12f is equal to 48, 16 3 is 48, and minus 16g plus 12f, 13 4s, sorry, it is 52, what was I doing? 52 and 48, apologies. So plus 12f and minus 12f will eliminate each other there. We have minus 9g plus minus 16g is minus 25g is equal to 100, meaning that we get g is equal to minus 4. So that's one scenario. Doing a similar simultaneous equations here, we get g is equal to 2. So now that we have our g values, we can go back to one of our equations and find our equivalent f value. So going back into the f values here, so for minus 4, we get an f value of minus 1, and for 2, we get an f value of 7. So that's just going back into the simultaneous equations. So from those 2 scenarios now, we have the following information. We know that, first of all, scenario 1, g is equal to minus 4, f is equal to minus 1, meaning the center of the circle is 4, 1, and we know that the radius is 5. And scenario 2, g is equal to 2, f is equal to 7, meaning that the center of the circle is minus 2, minus 7, and again, radius is 5. So finding the equation of circle 1, we can either go about we can either try and find the c using the square root of g squared plus f squared minus c is equal to 5, or you can simply substitute into x minus h to be squared, which is probably a little bit easier. So x minus 4 to be squared plus y minus 1 to be squared equals 5 squared, which is 25. Multiplying it out and tidying it up, we get x squared plus y squared minus 8x minus 2y minus 8 is equal to 0. Or using our second scenario here, circle 2 is x plus 2 to be squared plus x plus 7 to be squared, again equals 25. And multiplying it out and simplifying, x squared plus y squared plus 4x plus 14y, and we get plus 28 is equal to 0. So hope those scenarios make sense. Based on these 2 videos, I'd like you to go and try the questions in exercise 13. Please let me know if there's any ones that you are unsure of, and I'll put up the solutions in a couple of days. Thanks.